And the decade, for that matter. We stop to look back at the year in sports.
For a tiny state, Connecticut sure does make its mark in the sports world. Sports teammates Mark Robbins has looked back at 2010, the year in sports.
A BCS Bowl team, a two-time undefeated national champ with an historic streak, and the #1 college hockey team in the country. Boy, 2010 sure has turned into a terrific year for sports in Connecticut. And chronologically, the year starts and ends with UConn football. Beating South Carolina in the Papa John's Bowl in January was nice, but it doesn't compare with a Big East championship and a BCS Bowl bid. New Year's Day, UConn will battle Oklahoma in its biggest game ever, the Fiesta Bowl.
Rebound up and in by Amore.
When talking about UConn basketball, it's so hard to come up with new superlatives for the UConn women's team. In April, the Huskies beat Stanford to cap off a second straight unbeaten national title season. But last night, against Stanford again, it was the Cardinal leading from the opening tip to the finish. The streak is over. 90 straight wins ends. In Palo Alto, 71-59, UConn loses. After struggling through 2010, the UConn men settled for a second-round appearance in the NIT. This year might be a bit different. Behind Kemba Walker, the Huskies have gone from unranked to as high as #4 in the country. You could find quality college hoops throughout the state. The Hartford women earned an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. Tom Moore's Quinnipiac Bobcats nearly made the big dance, settling for an NIT bid, the first postseason appearance ever for QU. The Yale hockey team has earned 2 straight NCAA tournament appearances, and now Keith Elaine's team is ranked #1 in the country. The summer in Connecticut was about championships. The UConn baseball team, not only good enough to compete in the NCAA tournament, but the Huskies hosted the regional at Dodge Stadium in Norwich, which also featured in-state rival and Northeast Conference champ Central Connecticut State. On the golf course, the big lefty Bubba Watson won a 3-way playoff at the Travelers for his first ever victory on the PGA Tour. On the hard courts of New Haven, Caroline Wozniacki won her 3rd straight Pilot Penn title. Now the event is changing names to the New Haven Open at Yale. However, 4 new sponsors have signed on to provide women's pro tennis in Connecticut for at least 3 more years. Middletown's Joey Logano continues to impress. He won another race in the Nationwide Series. Logano is barely older than the Fairfield Little Leaguers who won the New England Regional to earn a spot at the World Series in Williamsport.
Score!
The Hartford Colonials made their debut in the UFL, and good crowd support at Rentschler Field tells us the ability for Connecticut to support pro football is strong. In other pro sports, we saw the Saints become first-time Super Bowl champs. The San Francisco Giants win a first World Series.
Struck him out!
And old rivals, the Celtics and Lakers, battle until LA wins Game 7 of the NBA Finals. From old rivals to new accomplishments, 2010, a year to remember in Connecticut sports. I'm Mark Robbins, News 8.